Pressure changes everything, pressure. Some people, you squeeze them, they focus. Others fold. Can you summon your talent at will? Can you deliver on a deadline? Can you sleep at night?
So embracing the suck, it really is something that you have to tell yourself, because we don't want to embrace the suck. You know, not even me. I don't want to embrace the suck, but it comes down to a lot, man. Like, I'm all about trying to be the best leader I can. You know, so through all these things in life, man, to be your best person, you have to find your best self. And to do that, you can't stay in the comfortable world. You have to be very, not always uncomfortable, but you know, you gotta find a spot that's not so comfortable.
Confidence and fear both require believing in something that hasn't happened yet. At a certain point, you have to consider that you're choosing to be afraid.
See, in your life, everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you could go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up no matter what. Because God is always coming. He's never too late.
If your life was a movie, what would the key scenes be? I think that's important when you're looking backward. But a much better one, if your life was a movie and people were watching up to this point, what would the audience be screaming at the screen, telling you to do with your life? What would they be just, it's fucking obvious. Leave the job. Leave the, get like, it's your brother. It's the, you know, the fucking killer's hiding in the cupboard, whatever it might be. What would the audience watching the movie of your life be screaming at the screen, telling you to do? And I think it's a very orthogonal way to look at, I already know the answer of what I should be doing. I'm just scared of making the commitment and having the conversation.
Well, it's something I tell myself daily. So I make sure I do at least one thing every day that sucks. It could be for an hour. It could be for 2 hours. Sometimes it's for 10 hours. But every day I do something to strengthen the mind. We're all looking for this great mythical mental toughness. Mental toughness doesn't come from sitting on a couch. It doesn't come from wishing it will come true. It comes from putting in the work. And you have to start developing your mindset. Mindset is not developed by wishing. Mindset is developed by doing and actually putting into practice.
But don't ever sell out for the temporary reward of what the opportunity is today. Believe in the bigger picture. Believe that all these things are just moments building the wave for the big moment to come. Always plant the seeds of hard work and integrity and honor today, and then every day you water them and nourish them, believe in them. One day that will sprout a flower of which, when you're dead and gone, people will still remember.
Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today.
Yes.
Because you need to have a hierarchy of improvement. You need to be aiming for something, and that means you're going to be lesser than people who've already attained along that dimension.
Yes.
And that can give rise to envy. So the question is, who should you defeat in the final analysis? And the answer is, you should defeat your former self. You should be constantly trying to do that. And you're the right control for yourself too, because you're the one who's had all your advantages and disadvantages. And so if you want to compete fairly with someone, then you should be competing with you.
We have petitioned, we have remonstrated, we have supplicated, we have prostrated ourselves before the throne and have implored its interposition to arrest the tyrannical hands of the ministry and parliament. But our petitions have been slighted. Our remonstrances have produced additional violence and insult. Our supplications have been disregarded, and we have been spurned with contempt from the foot of the throne in vain. After these things, may we indulge in fond hope of peace and reconciliation? There is no longer any room for hope.
I think the best way to prove your value is to work, is to learn, is to absorb, to be a sponge. But you always want to outwork your potential. You know, as hard as you believe you can work harder than that. And that's what I tried to do when I first came in the league. But you know, basketball is such a direct competition sport that me coming in at 17, I hated when like my teammates would say, you know, I get hit with an elbow, right? Shaq would hit me with an elbow in practice. And like, you know, so like I always had that extra chip on my shoulder. So like every day in practice for me was really trying to annihilate everybody that I was playing against. Because I wanted to prove you don't need to babysit me. Like I'm fine, you know? And so it's always that competitive nature, the work ethic, and curiosity.
You must ensure yourself that you're giving it all you can today, because the future we don't know, do we? We're training for that. And when I hear people say terms like good enough, it bothers me to an nth degree, because they are saying something that is justified at the moment, but not quantitative until a future endeavor of life. So therefore, they are passing judgment on now for a future event that they knew nothing about. They're bullshitters. Good enough, if you think about it, good is a positive, enough's a negative. That's an oxymoron right there. It's hypocritical in its own sense. There is nothing that's ever good enough. The only thing that's enough is at the end of the day, the nth hour, the final hour, whatever you're fucking going for, that your hand is raised victoriously. That's when you know it's enough.
If you're improving yourself, then what you are doing is competing with your lesser self. And then you might also ask, well, what is that lesser self? And that lesser self would be resentful and bitter and aggressive and vengeance-seeking and all of those things that go along with having a negative moral character. And those are things that interfere with your ability to progress as you move forward through life. So it's very necessary to understand that this is why, you know, I've been stressing this idea of personal responsibility. It's like, well, personal responsibility is to compete with yourself, is to be slightly better than yourself the next day.
Yes.
And it better in some way that you can actually manage. And that's humility. It's right. Like, well, I'm a flawed person. I've got all my problems. Could I be as good as person X? It's like not the right question. The right question is, could you be slightly better tomorrow than your currently flawed self? And the answer to that is, if you have enough humility to set the bar properly low, then you could be better tomorrow than you are today.
I think that mental health is the most important thing in the world, because the mind wants to have control over you. You need to have control over your own mind. So that's all about the mental health. Your mind's gonna always guide you in a spot that wants to make you feel comfortable and nice and secure. And it's in those spots that there's no growth. Without friction, there's no growth. So that's what I constantly preach about. You have to get outside that comfort zone to find that every day of your life.
But to me, it's whatever the moment or the situation demands. And I'm a bottom lines oriented kind of person. I have an assistant. I have people who work for me. I have people who work with me. They'll tell you I'm very bottom line kind of guy. If you tell me that the job is going to get done, and the job is going to get done in an excellent fashion, and it requires 90% effort, I'll let you go with that. I'll let you get away with that. I'm not going to sweat it. But if this requires 100% and you give me 99, I might want to fire you. Because I'm about getting the job done.
Sure.
It's about the results. And I think that, you know, unfortunately, when we look at our generation today, not enough people preach about that. You know,
Why do you think that is?
Because I think that we live in a society where people have become masters at pointing the finger at other people about reasons why things don't get done.
When I retired from the game, I sat there asking kind of all the wrong questions. What's the biggest industry I can get into? It's all the wrong stuff. And you got to sit there and ask yourself, okay, what am I truly passionate about? What do I enjoy doing? And when you feel that way, you feel like you have never worked a day in your life. It's the most fun thing in the world. You get up in the morning excited about what you're doing. And you got to be really honest with yourself about it. If you wake up in the morning and you're dreading going to work, do something else. Right. Do something else. And those are hard decisions to make. But when you make those decisions, it's a very liberating experience. And you find out that the rewards will come.
And you're in the gym right now to ensure that event goes your way. It will never go your way, guys, if you're saying today is good enough. If you never say good enough today, I promise you tomorrow will always be enough. Whenever good enough isn't enough, you can bet tomorrow you'll have enough. I looked this workout up, guys, last night, and I'm telling you, I'm a little fearful of it. I had a little bit of a nightmare about it. It's gonna take something else. It's gonna take that X factor attitude to push through this. But if you get through this, guys, you won't ever question the fucking terminology of society's weakness of good enough. If you make it through this workout, you will have enough to ensure your endeavors are fulfilled to victorious levels.
People struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place, because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
Judge yourself against no one but yourself. You're racing against no one but yourself. And when you continuously think that when you compare yourself to other people, you are losing the race. And this race is you against you, man. So don't get caught up in all this bullshit out here of the social media, and this is where I'm at, and this is what I'm doing, and this is how great I am. Fucking leave all that shit behind, man. Worry about yourself, worry about what you're doing, and worry about where you're going, and only where you're going to be your best self.
If we wish to be free, we must fight. I repeat it, sir, we must fight. An appeal to arms and to the God of hosts is all that is left us. But when shall we be stronger? Will it be the next week or the next year? Will it be when we are totally disarmed and when a British guard shall be stationed in every house? Shall we gather strength by irresolution and inaction? Shall we acquire the means of effectual resistance by lying supinely on our backs and hugging the delusive phantom of hope until our enemies shall have us bound hand and foot?
If you give it all you have, you're gonna get max potential back. And then who knows what can come. That's the beautiful thing. If you don't show up, guys, you know the outcome. You'll never get the job, never get the part, never get the girl if you don't show up. If you show up, you put yourself in a situation to create those opportunities. And when you show up, how hard do you go? That's the faster that opportunity will come to life for you. It's up to you guys. But I applaud you for being here. I applaud you for watching this, encouraging you to incorporate this in your workout. You'll see the gains like I did, and you'll fall in love with it. Even though it's tiring and exhausting, and you're sweating your ass off, and you're tired as can be, small down payment that you're willing to pay every day for the large investment of a greater life. You only got one life, guys. Again, if you work it right, you only need one.
I don't know, we'll see what happens, you know what I mean? Just keep positive and again, keep believing, keep training, keep trying to learn every day, trying to learn new every day. And that's it, if the call comes, the call comes. Just believe in yourself, believe that you're better than everyone else, you know what I mean? I always looked at, when I was looking at fights or looking at anything, obviously I can do this, I'm as good as that. And just believe in yourself and be cocky and be confident and just be humble, train hard. That's it, just believe in yourself.
If I could work that hard every day, with being blessed with the physical tools that I have, what would my career be? And I made a promise to myself from that day that I was going to work that hard every single day so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful. But that was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but if you live your life to just get better every single day, you do that for 20 years, what do you have?
Society is plagued with normality. Second place, for some fucked up reason, is the ultimate place, because it's not too prideful, it's yet humble, and it's bullshit, guys. Second place is the first fucking loser. If you hit second, that's fine if you gave it your all. But if you every single day say good enough, good enough, good enough, and you come up second, well, you're nothing enough. The margins, guys, in life, that dictates a champion, someone that's remembered and not forgotten. The legacies of life, the role models, the one that stands those tests of time I always talk about. Don't know terms like good enough. It's too fucking hard. And they failed over and over and over again so many times that they've learned what it takes to succeed. With failure comes success, and with success comes blueprints of fundamental principles that lead to success.
You know, get in the car, get to the gym, get there, and as I'm walking onto the court, who do I see? I see Kobe Bryant, already working out. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool. It's Kobe. What's up, Kobe? You know? And so I put my sneakers on, and do you ever get lost in what you do, where you end up like, wait, it's been an hour and a half. Like I'm here, I'm in it. So once I set my foot across that line, I started working out, and so I worked out for a good hour and a half. And when I came off after I was done, I sat down, and of course I still heard the ball bouncing. I look down, I'm like, this guy's still working out. He was working out for like, it looks like he was in a dead sweat when I got here, and he's still going. And it's not like his moves are nonchalant or lazy. He's doing like game moves.
If you have to ask how to get motivated to go to the gym, you don't need to be going to the gym. You don't want it enough. When you're sick and tired of looking and feeling like shit, you'll show up, motherfucker. I'll see you there. Because you're gonna look in the mirror and you're gonna be like, fuck that. You're gonna want to be in the gym. And if you're gonna make this a lifestyle, you have to lower the barriers, make the gym cheaper, closer, training partners, exercises you like, and you have to raise the impetus, goals, inspiration, and a fucking goddamn real desire to be there. The people that have no problem showing up to the gym are the people that want to be there. And no amount of Rocky Balboa fucking movies are going to get you to that place. A lot of that is also built with the experience of having the gym be a place where you get results by pushing yourself, winning little mini challenges, and having fun with it.
So you think that I'm done? That my career will soon be over? You don't know me. All my life I had to fight. No one believed in me. So I had to believe in myself. Some people wanted to break me, but they only made me stronger. Others wanted to exploit me. They only made me smarter. And now you think I'm done? To all of you, I only have one thing to say. I'm not like you, because I'm not you, and I am just warming up.
So one form is minimal, and that's someone that's like basically walking wounded, minor injuries. You're not going to worry about them. The next category is delayed, which means they're seriously injured, but they don't have any life-threatening injuries. Like maybe their bone is shattered, it's their femur sticking out of their leg, so they're definitely in rough shape, but artery didn't get hit, they're bleeding but not too bad, they're going to be okay. And then comes immediate, which is someone that needs urgent treatment right now. And if they get that urgent treatment, they're likely to survive. And finally, expectant, which means they are likely to die. And they are the kind of care that they're going to get. An expectant patient is basically like comfort. You know, going to get some morphine, and then we're going to move on to someone that we think we can save.
If your definition of success is win or lose, giving everything you've got and growing or learning along the way, then you're setting yourself up for success. I really think the biggest cheat code in life is just going after it and not being concerned of whether or not you fail at one specific task. Instead, understanding the big picture, what your long-term goal is, and knowing if you keep driving forward and never fucking quit, in the end you will succeed.
How would I know? I know that I am driven. There's a zillion things that have happened to me in my life. I don't know which one it is, but we create these narratives around it to believe it. And I'm bringing this kind of conceptual idea because right now many of you are creating stories that you tell yourselves to make yourself feel better about why your product isn't as good as it should be, but you have an excuse that only you need to believe. And you believe that excuse, so it excuses you from working harder on the stuff you know you should be doing but aren't. And that work, the work you know you should be doing but aren't, is the opportunity, because that is the work that your competitors also aren't doing.
I sit there and I unlace my shoes. I'm like, I want to see how long this goes. So I sit out there and watch. Another 25 minutes. And he got done. I was like, okay, I think I've seen enough. Go play, come back, get in the sauna, get ready for the game. That game, he drops 40 on us. Wow. Okay? And after the game is over, I'm like, I have to ask this guy. Like, I have to understand, like, why he works like that. Right. So after the game is over, I'm like, hey, Kobe, like, why were you in the gym for so long? He's like, because I saw you come in. That it doesn't matter how hard you work, that I'm willing to work harder than you.
Exhausted, man, but good set. Good set meaning like, went through my current failures, my current stick points, and then help myself to push past them a little bit. That's the growth, man. That's what puts a smile on your face. Where you've been, you know. Where you haven't been is exciting. That's why the smile comes, man. Every set, if you do it that way, like I say, I don't say goodbye till the pain is low. All that's saying is that you left it all you had in that moment. All that can grow from that is prosperity.
The value of values. What are values? All right, values are fundamental principles. They're emotional and intellectual guidelines, beliefs that we have for ourselves, beliefs that we can rely on in a pinch when we're lost, frustrated, and confused. Values govern our daily interactions. They define our expectations, not only of ourselves, but usually of what we expect others to do as well. That doesn't always happen. Now, coming up on Dad's Day, I was asking myself, what's a value that I learned as a child that has really helped me become the man I am today and pursuing to be? And the one that I remember the most, and it was preached to me by my dad, is this: don't half-ass it.
I have a resume full of fucking motivation. That whenever I'm down, I'm like, oh, hang on, motherfucker. Oh, you know the truth. You know the truth. You know the darkness of the fucking dungeons and the fucking demons that fly. You know. And then from there, it's like, oh, okay, you were there. You know this. There was no one there to pick up the rucksack, to pick up the boat, to pick up the log, to go in there. It was you. It was you. There was no pat on the fucking back at 300, at 275, at 250, at 220. No, that was you. So those things that come out of me, that extract from me in the darkness, people are looking for that pat on the back. Where is it? Oh, I don't need it. Because what I've done is in the fucking unseen work, I built Frankenstein. So whenever shit gets nasty, David Goggins goes, you had nobody anyway, motherfucker.
Not weak if we make a proper use of those means which the God of nature hath placed in our power. The millions of people armed in the holy cause of liberty, and in such a country as that which we possess, are invincible by any force which our enemy can send against us.
Regret doesn't grow from there, because you left it all there. You're the best you could have been in that moment. That's all you ever can be in every moment of life. But very few, if any, ever do that moment by moment, a carpe diem, and live it all for the most. You guys can control that. There's moments you can take it easy. You can pick and choose what moments you want to do. If you're watching a movie or sitting on the couch, whatever else, you can chill at that moments. Don't fucking chill on the moments that actually create your legacy. Give it all there. And then the belief and the dreams just lives forever. And by the way, the best dreams in the world aren't the ones seen when sleeping. The best dreams are the ones lived.
And so when you talk about changing the thought process, that's the real work. Now that takes a real level of strength. They smile every single day, but their actions are the same, their words are the same, their thought process is the same. You got people that's been complaining about the same job for 60, 50, 40, 30 years. Come in every single day and complain. When I played ball, I had a rule. Like, bro, we ain't complaining about nothing that we're not willing to change, right? If you complain about it, cool, complain. But we're not complaining about nothing that we're not willing to change. So if you state how you feel about it, you got to be willing to do the work and change your thought process, the words, and the way you speak about it. right? You gotta be willing to do the work. You can speak about it all day. The easiest thing in the world to do is to complain, blame, and quit and settle. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. But it takes real work to deconstruct and to reconstruct the thought process and the mindset of an individual when they're trying to change something.
Most skills is that the amount of effort that it takes to maintain a skill versus the amount of effort it takes to grow a skill is like 1/10 the amount of effort. And so if you do a 4 out of 10 on 10 things, you will make progress on none. You will make the same amount of progress that you could have made if you just did 1 out of 10, which is none. You just don't regress. But the extra 3 points that you save on the 9, you could put on one other item and have a 10 out of 10 or a 13 out of 10 in effort. And then after every periodized chunk of time, have a big W or win that you can look back on and say, I did that, and therefore I am. And so I think that that's how you step up the mountain of progress when you're trying to work on many different skills, quote, at the same time. It's just that the at the same time is over a year, not over a day.
No one's gonna fucking come to help me. No one's gonna fucking come to help me. It's fucking me against me, period. And so I had to man up. And I said, the first thing I gotta start doing is facing every fucking fear I have, no matter what the fuck it is, man. And these things would keep me up at night. No one, people who are hearing this shit, they will never really understand and grasp when you face these things and so many things, how they keep you up and haunt you at night to either be that 300-pound guy who sprayed for cockroaches and made $1,000 a month. And at 24 years old, knowing when I'm 50 fucking years old, I can reflect on this and think about what guy I never became, or I can totally just sack it up and fail and fail and fail until I succeed.
Listen to the normality of life, and everyone's saying the way it is the way it's going to be for you. The way it is for you is blood, sweat, and tears today to create a foundation of strength for tomorrow. Those days combined into whatever dream you want to be a reality. We are always fighting for that edge, always fighting for that opportunity. So it's not past, it's not missed, but lived. We're not gonna cry about those opportunities. We're gonna smile, remember them, and thank God they came, because we were ready when they fucking came. You won't be ready if today isn't pushed with the strenuous nature and the pressure of the moment in the future that everything rides on. That stress of everybody on you, and it's a make or break moment in your life, must exist today with no one watching. If that's ever gonna happen your way.
Somebody somewhere at one time said you can overtrain a muscle, and if you overtrain a muscle, it's gonna shrink. So I guess people are gonna believe this for the rest of their fucking lives, that you can overtrain a muscle. Well, do me a favor and just try it. Fucking try it. Give it a try. Train chest for 3 fucking hours. Do it every week for 3 hours for 2 or 3 months straight. And I fucking guarantee you, your chest is not gonna diminish and shrink away and turn into nothing. It will only get bigger and stronger. And instead of arguing the fact, try the shit. Try it. Give it a try. Don't take everybody's word for everything. Don't read something and believe that shit.
The deal is, we're all expectant. Right? Like, we are all expectant. We are all going to die. And we should not simply be looking for comfort, right? We should be looking to treat that. We should be fighting against that, because it seems like, again, switching, if we go into cruise control, if we go into normal mode and we're not thinking about what's happening, then we just accept that label.
You need that X factor. You need that leg up. It's too fucking hard. This workout will ensure that you never have to question your intensity. You make it through this, guys, you're gonna make it through life. I I said leg up because that's what this is. It's a leg workout. And it will bring you a leg up in life. It's intense, man. I'm not sure I'm ready for it. But the challenge of that inspires me to fucking reach barriers I haven't been to. And I'm excited to share them with you. And you guys watching this, share them with yourselves and your friends. And together, we'll be part of society that doesn't take second place as first. There's first place, and then it's forgotten. Leg up begins now.
The world belongs to optimists. Because if you're going to do anything big, you have to believe that it can happen. Otherwise, it never will.
That Sean Puri thing, the cynics get to be right and the optimists get to be rich.
Yeah. Like, if you look at it from a percentage of success rate, I've been wrong more times than I've been right. I have failed more times than I've succeeded. But you always succeed more and are right more in the big ways than the people who've been right all along and are wrong. Trevor says this, my editor. He says 99% right and 100% wrong. So like they're right 99% of the time, but they're wrong 100% because the only thing that matters is the big one at the end.
Right? Approach everything with a level of gratitude. Secondly, look at the things that you do and see what you can extract from it. So when you lose it, is it really a loss if I can extract a level of dedication from it? Like when I didn't make it to the NFL, I looked at the process and said, okay, I gotta hang up the cleats, but let me extract that mindset. Let me extract that work ethic. Let me extract that dedication and commitment. So now that I can extract that, I can apply it to anything that I want to do in my life and get a chance at success. But most importantly, man, you gotta look at things and say, like at a certain point, like eliminate the outcome. Stop being driven by rewards. Stop being driven by outcomes. Stop being driven by, if I get this, I'm gonna do this. Just work.
We shall not fight our battles alone. There is a just God who presides over the destinies of nations and who will raise up friends to fight our battles with us. The battle, sir, is not to the strong alone. It is to the vigilant, the active, the brave. There is no retreat but in submission and slavery. Our chains are forged. The war is inevitable, and let it come. I repeat it, sir, let it come.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.
You're questioning what you know, not trusting what I know. And I think that's really, really key right there. Because we get caught up in our lives so much that we believe everything we're doing is the right thing. And we never step outside the bounds to really see the neighbor's grass, from the other side, to see which is greener. We're just stuck in our own environment so much that we start to think that this is the universe. The universe is this. It's not until you lose that biased nature that we all have and open up your opinion to what else could be, that you can see what is right, like I was saying before, and maybe what you're doing is right, or maybe it's almost there and it's just altered a little bit, right?
Most people are incapable of picking a direction and going.
Just going.
They observe the possibilities. They get paralyzed by all the possibilities. They refuse to move forward on all the possibilities, and then time passes them by. So it's very important that you make a decision and you go down that path. You commit to that path with the mentality of having zero options. I don't have a choice but to see this through, okay? If I don't see this through, I'm gonna be digging ditches. That's what I tell myself. When I don't wanna come here and I don't wanna do this, and I get tired of, doing what I do, which happens to everybody. You go through ups and downs. I pretend like I have zero options. I say, well, if I don't fucking do this, bro, I'm gonna be digging ditches, so I better show the fuck up and get it done.
But what's more important, what we acquire or who we become? Right? What's more important, what we acquire or who we become? Materialistic, superficial, it's cool. But the people that we become, the thoughts we think, the words we speak, that's something that's gonna travel with us forever. right? You can lose a car, get another one tomorrow. But the people that we become as a result of the processes that we lock into every single day for the things that we aspire to get, or the people that we aspire to become, that takes real work, and we gotta be willing to do that.
I grab a barbell and I just cinch in like a deadlift grip. It's some kind of fucking spirit connection. I belong in the gym, because to me, the clanking and the groaning and the smells and the machines, they are experiential symbols of progress. So one thing is, get yourself into the gym however you see fit consistently. Have a good fucking time there doing what you love. Push yourself. Get those little mini victories, RPI hypertrophy apps as you're doing a little better over time, and let that fill you up. Let that grow on you.
Effort, dedication, work hard, because the talent is not enough anymore. And if you're not dedicated 100%, you're not gonna reach the level that you want. For example, you arrive home, you had a lunch, you do it a quick nap, and you wake up, you play with your kids, and I have to go to the gym at least 30-40 minutes, but this will make the difference in the end of the day, you understand?
So don't wait. Time is short. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't sit around and plan anymore. Go out and do the thing. Do the thing.
You built belief when you had nothing. Rock bottom. You did that. So as times get hard for me, the truth comes out. And my truth is powerful as fuck. It's real. It's tangible. I feel it. It comes out of my brain as I speak about it. I'm reliving every single dark moment of my life to be here. So that is what people don't get. That is what motivates David Goggins, is the unseen work. But everybody needs that pat on the back. They need that training partner. They need that accountability coach. I don't need that shit, and neither do they. But it's what we've trained ourselves to believe that we need.
And if you don't get what you thought you were gonna get, show up and still go to work. Because along the process, what's more important, what you acquire or who you become? And a lot of people think what they acquire is the thing that makes them who they are. No, it's who you become in the process of chasing what you want to acquire, right? Change expectation for appreciation. Extract the lessons and the blessings from the situations that didn't turn out the way you wanted them to turn out. But most importantly, man, approach it and eliminate the outcome, right? Just go for it, work.
And finally, the guy's like, dude, all right, enough. What's the deal here? What are we doing? The mentor turns to him and grabs him physically and dunks him under the water and holds him there. Won't let him out. This guy's like, what the fuck's going on? This guy went psycho on me. He's trying to drown me, kill me. He's fighting for everything he has to get out of there, get some air and everything else. This guy won't let him up, no matter what he tries. He will not let him up. He's struggling, he's moving, he's twisting, will not let him up. It's not until the student fucking punches the mentor. The mentor loses his wind for a second there, loosening his grip up, gives him the wind of opportunity to escape his holdings and fucking get some air. And when he gets the air, his first words once he gets some, what the fuck was that? You out of your mind, man? I can sue you for this shit and everything else. He goes, yeah, you can.
It is so easy to beat people today. They are so soft. They have no work ethic. No one can stick with anything. Everyone's distracted. They're on social media. They're counting their fucking notifications because they can't stick with shit. They can't say no. And so sometimes you got to say, hey guys, we're going to stay at this revenue level until we get referrals over 30%. We're going to stay at this revenue level. We're going to stay at this level of advertising because I don't want anyone else to know how mediocre our sandwiches are. Why would I tell anyone else? I don't want anyone to know. If I could test this with no one knowing, I would do it, but we have to advertise a little bit so we can fix our thing. But the point of that first phase of growing the business, because you start making sales, is to get better, not to get rich. The point in the first phase is to learn, not to earn.
Try it out for yourself. Find out if it works or it doesn't work. And people out there, they're gonna say, oh, well, you're taking steroids. They're not bullshit. Believe me, the more you put into anything, the more you're gonna get out. The longer you train, the more you eat, the more you sleep, the better results you're gonna get. If I'm eating 12 meals a day, I'm training 3 hours a day, and I'm sleeping 10 hours a day, I'm gonna get better fucking results than the guy that's training an hour a day, eating 6 meals a day, and sleeping 6 hours a day. It doesn't take a fucking scientist to fucking logically understand what I'm saying. The more you put in, the more you get out. So stop fucking making excuses. Get out there and do whatever the fuck it takes to reach your fucking goals.
I mean, think about it. If you're gonna do something, if you've chosen to do something, whatever it is, easy, hard, if you give it your all and you don't half-ass it, win, lose, draw, get what you want, don't get what you want, whatever the outcome is, if you don't half-ass it, at least you're not gonna have to wonder, ooh, would the outcome have been different? What if I did give it my all? And boy, wondering that is what keeps us up at night. So that's a value that stuck with me. Don't half-ass it. I think it's one we can all take in our hip pocket going forward.
Gentlemen may cry, peace, peace, but there is no peace. The war has actually begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north will bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it that we gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear or peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
But now you know what giving it your all is. And you will not succeed in business or any endeavor in life until that fight you just went through is applied to the same endeavor. It's too fucking hard of a world out there. And Billy, if you're trying to lose weight for the girls on the beach like you just said, buddy, you don't have enough fight. You're gonna drown right there. It's never gonna be successful. Think of that, guys. When you guys are saying you're doing everything right and you're giving it your all, come on, come on. Your all's a lot more than you know. You got more inside of you to give. Stop selling yourself so short.
It's not becoming a millionaire that's important. It's the person that you must become in order to become a millionaire. You have to become a completely different person. You have to develop character beyond 99% of the people in the world. You have to develop honesty and discipline and quality relationships and the willingness and the ability to work and set priorities and all kinds of stuff.
You gotta create dream boards. You gotta put the new car up on your mirror. Put the weight you wanna be on the refrigerator. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That's the law of attraction. That's what you bring to you.
Whatever you send into the universe sends right back at you. And when it's coming back, that's your law of attraction.
What we give out, we get back. And what we believe about ourselves becomes true for us. Our thinking creates our experiences. There is a law of thinking like everything else, like all of nature. There is a universal energy or law of mind or subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it. But to me, it means the power that is within me and around me transforms my thoughts into experiences. Every thought we think and every word we speak is creating our experiences. And it's almost as though every time you think a thought or you speak a word, that universal intelligence or energy is listening or responding to what you are thinking or believing or saying. Whatever we choose to believe becomes true for us.
When you know what you want and you make a committed decision, you are on an exciting trip. See, when you see yourself as what you want, you put your mind on the frequency that it has to be on, and you're going to attract everything you need, and you'll get it right on schedule. Not when you want it, probably. You'll get it as you need it. Do you know the only prerequisite to getting what you want? Is you got to want it.
If you have a clear picture in your head of something that is going to happen, a clear belief in that it will happen no matter what, then nothing can stop it. You know what I mean? It is destined to happen.
You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. There are things that you're going to be able to do that eye has not seen, ear has not heard. There are things that you have in you that you don't even know, but until you get outside of your comfort zone, you will never discover it. You have something special. You have greatness within you. But in order to manifest your greatness, you've got to put yourself in a perpetual state of discomfort. Yes, you've got to challenge yourself. You've got to raise the bar on yourself. You've got to get busy. You've got to work your plan. Even if you've got a job right now, you've got to work yourself out of it. You've got to have an exit date where you say, hey, I've had it. It's time for me to do me, to pursue my dream, to work my plan, to implement the things that I want for myself and for my family and for my kids. And what is your legacy? What do you want to do for yourself?
Success begins in the mind. Whatever you can clearly imagine, ardently desire, and firmly believe, you can bring into your reality.
Do you know you can use your imagination to go into the future and bring it into the present? That's what all highly successful people do. They see where they want to go, and then they act like the person they want to become. It was William James from Harvard's advice. He said it's the actor's technique. Act like the person you want to become.
The imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world has ever known. Now, the imagination is the mental faculty out of which visions arise. Visions, pictures that we build in our mind. Most people don't use their imagination constructively. Most people use their imagination destructively. They imagine what they don't want. We've got to consciously and deliberately imagine what we do want. If we will take and sit down with a pen and ask ourselves, what do I really want? And write it down. And then make a written description of it in the present tense. Writing causes thinking. Thinking creates an image. And you get these images going, you're building a vision in your mind. It's the visionaries that's changed the world. Think of that. The fact that I can sit and look into this camera, and you can sit and look at me on your phone, or on your TV, or on your laptop. That was the result of somebody's vision.
The odds were stacked against me. I won anyway. Because I win.
You won because you got lucky.
Guys like you always think other people get lucky. I don't get lucky. I make my own luck. And in this case, it's bleeding you dry.
Everything in your life you have put there and you've created. You are a co-creator with God. You always have been. You have to have an idea of what it is you want before you can create it. Otherwise, you have the whole world. Everything is out there. There are no limitations. You should know what it is you want, what you want to accomplish. The long-term goal and maybe the short-term goals along the way. Whatever it is, you visualize it and picture it and be able to fill it full of a lot of details. This makes it become real. But once you put it out there, then people say, okay, now how am I going to do it? Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about, I have to do this and this and this to attain that goal. Because if you can see it in your mind as already done, already happened, it must occur. That's a law of the universe.
Every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something with their life has gone through the exact chapter that you're going through. And it's the lonely chapter. It's the chapter where you don't fit in with your own friends, but you don't have the outcomes yet to fit into a new group of friends. And you're doing this thing, you're consuming content on the internet, you're doing these free tutorials online to try and figure out how to set up a podcast and where do I host this thing? And then you're going through this and you're like, is this even worth it? Because you have no signs of success, right? But if there's anything that you can take away from what we're saying right now is that the sign of success is the hate that you get along the way. And what you can't do is bend the knee to their hate and fit back into the conformity because it's comfortable and it's warm. Because like in the Matrix, when Trinity opens the door, when Neo's about to go take the red pill and he wants to get out of the car, she says, Neo, you've been down that road and you know exactly where it leads. And I know that's not where you want to be. and then he closes the door. Like right now, this moment that you're going through is Trinity opening the door and being like, you could go back, but then you'd have to remember exactly what the reason was that you decided not to go out to begin with, just because you listen to this podcast and you consume this content, you're like, I can do more than this. Like, because you are starting to live in some of that hell where you look in the mirror and you're like, I can do more. And you start to see the person that you could be. And you're like, this does start to feel like hell.
You gonna leave his people be? Or you the one that's gonna find yourself a new plug? You don't mean that shit? The f*** I don't. I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another talk.
No one is patient. And for you to lose weight, for you to stop drinking, if you whatever the hell you're going through, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of time, and a lot of pitfalls, a lot of plateaus. You're gonna hit so many plateaus. If you don't know how to get around that plateau, it's not gonna happen fast.
So forgive me, but you know, if you're going to create anything of value in this life, you're going to, even if it's with other people, you're going to have to be willing to be on your own for a bit, to forage on your own, to take walks alone, and then return to people, to your tribe, so to speak, and share with them what you've learned, or maybe even just show up with whatever energy shift has occurred while you were off.
Never, ever give up. Don't give up. Don't allow it to happen. If there's a concrete wall in front of you, go through it, go over it, go around it, but get to the other side of that wall.
Everybody wants to hack. There is no hack, man. There's no hack.
What do you think is the biggest stumbling block that most people face with this kind of journey?
Honestly, is they have the woe is me mentality. It's too hard. Life isn't fair. These things in life are not easy for me. You look to your left, and you look to your right, and you start to judge yourself off other people. Like, if you're a female, well, she's skinny and she doesn't work out as hard as I do, and everything starts to corrupt your mind. You start to look around too much at other people and what they're doing, and that starts to corrupt your own dialogue. We are judging ourselves against too many people. You have to judge yourself against yourself. And that's the one thing I started learning, man. This isn't a race against me and Rich Roll. This is a race against David Goggins and David Goggins alone. And once you can silence all that bullshit, all the outside interference and things that are attracting your mind to everything, you can then start to grow.
Sometimes in life, when everything's going great for you and you don't know good from bad, you need to experience a little rain sometimes so you can enjoy the sunshine again.
Cause I know every motherfucker ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. So this is how you level up. I know there's a whole bunch of people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. Refuse to study a few more hours, refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage.
You always have to be the person who roots for you before everyone else does. And it's usually a single clap in the auditorium for a very long period of time. It is a slow clap that's just you rooting for you. And that visual, I think, is one that you can kind of take, because it is. People struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place, because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
Oftentimes, if it doesn't go our way, we don't see it as a blessing, right? If something happens, an experience, if it doesn't go the way we want it to go, oftentimes we don't consider that to be a blessing. But some of the greatest blessings in our lives are things that didn't.
You know, we have a million and one excuses that we could go to. Fact of the matter is, we're not going to make it. They played better than we did in this series. We had our opportunities to win it. Then go for us. So we just have to regroup. Like I said, next season starts right now, and come back next season and play.
How much harder will you work in this offseason now to get back to the championship?
I'll push myself to exhaustion.
Your pride and your ego has been killing your career growth. Your could be on another level. You know better, but you're deciding to not do better. You are a lazy, unprofessional, mean attitude having, and yet when things are not happening good for you, when things are not coming your way, when things are not happening as fast as you want them to happen, you blame everybody else and what they're doing and saying, and you completely disown everything that you're doing to contribute to your career not going to another level. You know better, but you don't want to do better.
Everything counts. Everything that you do counts. The biggest mistake that people make is they think that only what they want to count counts. No. When you read a book, when you listen to an audio program, when you go to a course, when you go to bed early and get up early and you work, it all counts.
If you haven't gotten what you want, then you're not worthy of it, period. And that's okay. Now you can admit that you suck and improve. Better to know you're bad for a season than pretend you're good for a lifetime. You're not making as much money as you want because you're not as good as you think you are. You're a student and pretending to be a teacher. No students say they feel like frauds for trying to learn. You're a fraud when you get up to teach the class, and you've never done it.
How bad do you want this? If it's as bad as you want to live, or breathe, or sleep, whatever the hell it may be, I can work with you. But a lot of people, most people don't want it that badly. Which is why they always ask the question, man, how did you get to where you are? You know how to do it. You know exactly how to be you or how to be me. You don't want to do it. So I can't make you do it. And nor do I have the time or energy to force you into that place that I know you have to be to do it. There's no luck in this game, man. It may be a little bit of luck, but the luck happens after you bust your ass and you put yourself in that lucky situation. Luck doesn't happen. You put yourself in that situation where luck might happen.
If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So a lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction and it will become reality.
I want to reassure you that no matter what the night, no matter what the storm, no matter what the difficulty, there isn't anybody here that can't figure it out, find some things to do, step at a time, yes. Minute at a time, yes. Day at a time, yes. Week at a time, yes. But there isn't anything you can't walk away from. There isn't any challenge you can't overcome. I want you to have that kind of belief in yourself.
Connor, in February of 2013, we spoke for the first time. You didn't have a car, you didn't have a pot to piss in. All you had were blueberries. Now here you are with the undisputed gold. Enjoy it, my friend. You deserve it, you called it.
Yeah, from nothing to something to everything. I knew I was going to be the person to bring martial arts to the public eye. And now it's happening. You know what I mean? There's two things I've learned from these past 7 months. Number one is that hard work pays off. And number two is that dreams come true. And that's what's happening.
Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Why would you be realistic? What's the point of being realistic?
Just put up a barrier.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's done. It's already done. The second I decide it's done, it's already done. So now we just got to wait for y'all to see.
Do or do not. There is no try.
People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a mother that's up. There's not a car. There's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday. Hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the after it every daggone day.
Why do we force? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up.
My hero. That's who I chase. Now, when I was 15 years old, I had a very important person in my life come to me and say, who's your hero? And I said, I don't know, I got to think about that. Give me a couple of weeks. I come back 2 weeks later. This person comes up and says, who's your hero? I said, I thought about it. You know who it is? I said, it's me in 10 years. So I turned 25 10 years later. That same person comes to me and goes, so are you a hero? And I was like, Not even close. No. She said, why? I said, because my hero is me at 35. So you see, every day, every week, every month, and every year of my life, my hero is always 10 years away.
I'm emotionless. I am zen, at peace, ready for war.
You need to just keep living. Listen to the pain. It's both history teacher and fortune teller. Pain teaches us who we are, Wade. Sometimes it's so bad we feel like we're dying. But we can't really live till we die a little, can we?
The one thing I would tell them is, and I would tell them to get it tattooed on your arm, and it would say, it's supposed to be fucking hard.
It's a lot easier to sit around and make a list of what you're going to do in the future. What's easier? It's easier to take out a pen and a piece of paper and write things down. And so people will substitute that action for the action that will actually change them and make them better and move them closer to that version of who they know they can become. So let's just be careful. Just be careful. Be careful of getting caught in that planning phase of who you can become. Be careful of that planning phase, because the planning phase should be about 3 seconds long. And then it's time to go get after it.
You get up in the morning, what are you going to do today? I'm going to win today. Well, just by saying that you're going to win today, you ain't going to win today. It's a jungle out there. See, most of us, we come out to compete every single day. The jungle comes to win, because the jungle is always prepared.
Your current situation is not your final destination. There's more to your life. And I know right now it's hard for you to believe that, but I need you to believe it. Like, everything you're currently facing is building you for something greater. You're more than your struggles. You're more than your pain. I know you feel like nobody understands you. Nobody gets you. I know you feel alone and isolated. So I want to tell you, I'm proud of you for not giving up when it's so easy to.
Death is not waiting behind that door right now. Every second you are between life and death. One day it just stays with this, then this is going to happen. So in the moment where you realize it could be my last action right now that I do, having this type of thought on the mind, it could be your last, hopefully makes you wake up to really focus on the things that are important for you. Because many things are starting to fall away when somebody tells you, look, you only have 1 more week to live. Many problems that at the moment people are caring about, they will just disappear. Then they wake up and realize this shortness of life, how precious it actually is that we are able to be here.
So if you're in the woods and you don't know where to go, start walking. You got to start walking, because the perspective is not going to change. You have to start moving forward. You have to start taking steps in order to improve your vision, improve your perspective, change your perspective, make some kind of progress. And worst case scenario, you figure out that you walked the wrong direction. Okay, now you can go walk in the other direction, and that's going to be fine. But standing there lost and not doing anything is just waiting to die, waiting to starve to death. Don't let that happen.
Hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times.
You have to learn how to fail. A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're gonna have a lot of bad days. So I had to teach myself how to fail right. And what that means is, when I fail, I can't spend much time in that fail zone. I have to be able to get up and get after the next day just as fast. I don't have time to stay here and feel bad for myself for weeks and months and years, because I'll lose that time.
When I seen that Bentley at the boxing gym and I seen that diamond Rolex, I said, I want that. And I knew what it took. So I know when my opponent is asleep, I'm out there at 4 or 5 in the morning, chopping trees, working, to this day. Because I can retire today. I'm well off, very comfortable. But I got the will to win.
You cannot change your life unless you change something.
If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got.